It's day 16 of the Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. John Hole has asked us, if the Beatles were in Doctor Who as actors, what story from 1965 would be good? Or generally, I guess this should be right at the time. So 65. So if you don't know, the Beatles, of course, appeared as a clip in The Chase. They originally were asked to possibly appear as themselves in a properly shot scene. Their manager, Brian Epstein, according to legend, vetoed it. So that's why they used the clip from Top of the Pops of them performing Ticket to Ride. So if the Beatles were actually in Doctor Who as actors, not necessarily in that scene, which story from like season 2 would they be in?
I can't work within those constraints. I have to say War Machines for season 3 because it's the first modern, quote unquote, modern day Who story.
Okay.
The Aztecs. Let's put them in the Aztecs, which probably isn't even.
I'll give you that. I'll give you 65. I'll give you up to end of Hartnell era. Basically, we'll give you. Yeah, I would say like Planet of the Giants. I think that'd be a fun cameo where the Beatles are like walking around and say, "Oh no, who's that?" And all of a sudden, like the Doctor's about to get crushed by John Lennon's oversized shoe or something like that.
Or maybe at like the end of the Massacre or something, maybe the Doctor can walk around with Dodo or something and see the Beatles.
That's true. Yeah, I think, let's like maybe instead of for some reason she's running to the police box to like get help for an accident that is never solved. She's like, I'm running because I was caught molesting the Beatles by chasing them around London, and now I have to get out of here. Because that
went dark.
Well, it was a thing that happened, Beatlemania and all that. So maybe that was it. Like I got a little too overactive. The Beatles were there. I went a little crazy. No questions asked. Just let's fly off to the Ark in the 57th segment of time, please. Let's just do that. Like, get me away from this. But the Beatles as actor. What about the Beatles as like Zarbi or Menoptera? I think
brilliant. Yes, that's the best solution. Have them in costume.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, insofar as like, are they appearing as themselves, or are they just actors doing a TV series?
Well, the question was as actors. So it'd be kind of like a Daniel Craig as a stormtrooper.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Star Wars.
Yeah. So this is where you get away with like putting them as themselves, but like, did you hear them speak? They certainly sound like they were from Liverpool, but they're giant ants. What's going on? That sort of thing.
I think that's the best solution. I can't think of a better one, to be honest with you.
In a 65 story, you could have them. Maybe you had them like in King Richard's court in the Crusade, and
as knights,
as jesters.
Yeah, just maybe in the background, maybe one or two speaking lines.
Not even just make it pure. Have them just in the background,
just walking around in the background. That sort of thing.
Not even noticeable. Just there if you know it.
Like pan across. Wait a second. Was that Paul McCartney? That was Paul McCartney, right? You could almost like go through and like put them in every single story from 1965. Like the Dalek invasion of Earth, there's like 4 guys like who are leading the resistance. They all get like wiped out by Daleks or something like that. Boy, I bet you a lot of people in 1964 make them all Thals.
How about they could be like Vikings or something from the Time Meddler?
Because invasion, right? Yeah. So
and I want
Vikings
George Martin as Time Meddler.
George Martin. That would work. He meddled with time a lot.
He did.
What other stories are we?
Or they could appear as themselves in the Space Museum.
I think
that's
possible. Yeah,
as an
that's
exhibit?
the one. That's the one. They are an exhibit, a living exhibit in the Space Museum. That would make that story immeasurably better. I think that you could actually, with digital technology, insert the Beatles into that in the background.
The words digital technology and insert the Beatles should never be mentioned together. But I would like to see Hartnell Doctor go, turn off that rubbish at once.
Turned out, well, he did like them though, apparently.
No, all right.
Yeah, because he did. You squashed my favorite Beatles as Vicky. Vicky didn't care for them, but
I didn't know
Doctor
that you were into classical music.
Yeah, exactly. I think you could probably brighten up quite a few stories from that era as with the Beatles and stuff. There's lots of possibilities.
They could be like market traders in the Romans.
Oh, that's the perfect. Yeah, They could be like the opening act for like Marcus Battalion or Magnus Battalion, whatever the hell his name is, Maximus Battalion.
Maximus Battalion.
Playing for Nero. And there's like Nero, and then they could jeer it off and goes, "Oh, Pace, send me away to the lions," says Nero in his weird voice. And that would be hilarious. They could be everywhere in that whole season of Doctor Who. And you could say, yep, that's the Beatles in Doctor Who. It would work. I think we should do it. The season 2 Blu-ray is not out yet. So I think there's still time for, instead of like doing CG effects, I think they should do CG Beatles for each and every episode of season 2.
However, of course, the one exception is going to be The Rescue. That's the one they can't be in.
It's very different. No, at the very end, when the Didoins come in and smash...
The Didoins, yes.
Good call.
It's the Beatles doing it.
It could be them.
How ironic that there's the Beatles are coming in and smashing audio equipment. Oh, saying something, man. It's meta. Breaking stuff. Breaking rules like the Beatles did.